Good day, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. How's everybody getting along? Well, it's good to be back here. Let's see what we got going on in the world of weather. There is some trouble here brewing in the southern and central plains over the next couple days. You see this big old trough kicking this low-pressure system out of the Four Corners area. That's going to move east as we head throughout the week and cause some problems, severe weather, and guess what? The Gulf of Mexico, we're going to open up the moisture business, so to speak. It's going to be open for moisture business. And as we continue towards the northeast for next week, look, we head towards the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Look at the pattern. It does start to reverse. This big old upper level low starts to exert its influence. And to get us started here, let's take a look at the trouble spots. The green shading is where we're going to see a combination of severe weather, 4 to 8 inches of rain through the end of this week into this weekend. It is going to be downright nasty. Severe weather here into the central and northern plains, even parts of the western plains here as well. Not looking very good. This cold blast behind it will promote some snowfall here into the western mountains here of Colorado. And while we'll see a warm up here into the northeast, we'll actually see a cool down potentially next week. And before we continue, here is a quick special announcement. I am proud to announce that I am now an affiliate with Trilogy Maps. TrilogyMaps.com, bringing you the most digital, customizable maps found nowhere else on the internet. These maps are simply stunning. It's an advanced layering system that makes these maps great for making forecast maps with ease or any other maps that you would like to display important information on. The resolution on these maps is simply amazing. From the detail of everything here in the States, and you can also create stunning, digital, professional layered maps from also across the entire world. And don't forget, in checkout, the discount code option, use my code, MeteoMark, hit apply, and you will get 20% off your order. So if you want the most professional, customizable, and affordable weather maps found nowhere else on the internet, look no further than TrilogyMaps.com. Link in the description down below along with your discount code. Severe weather for your Wednesday. Take a look at this. So we're going to start seeing explosive thunderstorm development here across parts of eastern Colorado, southeastern part of Wyoming, and look at here across the Gulf Coast region here, Houston, over to Beaumont, Port Arthur as well. And here we go for your Thursday. It is looking pretty stormy here across the Central Plains. This is where things really start to come together. I would not be surprised here from South Dakota all the way down to north central Oklahoma if we get some sort of enhanced risk of severe weather for your Thursday. All right, so as we take a look at the surface base cape here, as we go into May 10th here, take a look at this. This is going to be massive quantities of cape. Eastern parts of Nebraska here in Kansas. This is where we're going to get up towards, 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram. This is where we're going to start to see some major problems. And look at down here into southern Texas too. But this is where all the instability is going to be. And that's going to feed into the thunderstorms here across the plains as we head throughout the evening hours. And then we get into closer to Thursday, we see a resurgence here of cape, but look at parts of eastern Texas. This is where we're going to start to see problems as well. So any chance of tornadoes here? Well, the only chance I see is we skip along here to Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. We have a threat here across south central Nebraska into central Nebraska towards 10 p.m. You can see the SigTor parameters towards 2 and 3 here. So definitely want to keep an eye out. Isolated ones towards 4 on the SigTor parameter scale here. We're not looking at a massive tornado outbreak, but that pivots towards the eastern part of Nebraska towards 3 a.m. on early Thursday morning. Now, we do have a chance here in the heavy rain sector of this storm, eastern Texas, and then getting into Louisiana between 3 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. So some of this heavy rain-wrapped thunderstorms could contain some rain-wrapped tornadoes as well. So watch out for that. So your HRRR, your essential future radar here. Let's take a look and see what we got going on in terms of severe weather as we head overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Yeah, we're going to have 3 areas essentially. We'll start here along the Gulf Coast. Take a look at this. You're going to be looking at some gully washers down here down south. They're not going to be extremely severe. You could have an isolated severe, but the heavier rain, this is going to set the stage for heavy rain. And then here across central Nebraska, and much of Nebraska for that matter, a thunderstorm complex will be continuing here, causing problems. And then up here into parts of the northern plains as well. Now watch this as we continue in time. Watch what happens here. We're going to watch that fizzle out there in the central part of the plain states here. And then into southeastern Texas, the heavy rain factor. We will have some severe thunderstorms later on, especially in the day on Wednesday. But the heavy rain is going to be the big story, as I told you as I'm going to show you here on the rainfall maps coming up. It is going to be quite a torrent of rain here. Yeah, we're going to be watching at, the possibility as we head into the plain states. This is 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Now, watch what happens as we get the daytime heating really kicking in and the instability. Yeah, we start to spark some of these really powerful showers and thunderstorms here into the western plains. And then flooding and some severe weather problems continue here into parts of eastern Texas from Houston all the way up to Linden and Dallas, Fort Worth, Little Rock. Yeah, we're going to be looking at the possibilities of some major problems here. Look at this, thunderstorms all the way over towards the northern Florida peninsula here. And as we continue in time, let's see what's going on. Yeah, the western plains really start to blossom here as far as thunderstorms. A lot of these, this is by 10 p.m. Wednesday evening. You're going to have to watch out because some of these could become tornadic. Damaging wind, large hail, extremely large hailstones, though, are going to be the biggest threat here. And take a look at this as we continue throughout the early morning hours of Thursday. Look at that severe weather there into the plains. It becomes more of a heavy rain threat. Now, let me just back this up just a few frames here into parts of Louisiana. These are going to be some very torrential rains. So central parts of Louisiana, I'm very concerned right around the Alexandria area. It is going to be coming down in buckets, so to speak. So flooding is definitely going to become probably a thing here. And look at, as we get to 2 p.m. Thursday, eastern Colorado into western parts of Kansas. Look at this. This is where things are really going to start to explode. And I just wanted to show you here the last frame here along the Gulf Coast here. Look at Mississippi and New Orleans area. Some very heavy rains moving in. Let's get a timestamp, 2 p.m. on Thursday. All right, so let's take the synoptic view here of North America. I'm going to show you briefly here on the GFS and then onto the European model. Take a look at this. So yeah, we're going to have some big gully washers here across parts of the south and the northern plains. But look at that. This is where things really get problematic here across parts of Texas. There is going to be some big-time flooding. And up here into the Ohio Valley, into parts of Pennsylvania, both the European and the GFS are agreeing that to keep this from I-80 on southward here. So, yeah, you're going to see rain from Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, into the New Jersey area, probably parts of Long Island as well. So watch this as we go in time, though. There's just some moisture that's going to be hanging out here across Texas into next week. But thankfully, that starts to fall apart. And then we start to see a more rainy pattern here develop across the east. As you can see, evidence of an upper level low really beginning to strengthen here. And that's going to pinwheel systems around it. And you know the drill. It's going to become cooler and it's going to become rainier. And look at that. As we go in time here, we start to get some areas. We're going to start talking about the tropics as well. There's a wave that's going to be passing just east of Florida by this time, right around May 19th. But watch this as we continue to go into motion. The east is looking a lot better by late May here, May 21st. You start to see the pattern really open up into more like a summertime pattern, and things really start to get clear. You start to see this evidence of almost like a ring of fire up here. Thunderstorms around the periphery of high-pressure system. So the King Euro model here, let's take a look and see what we got going on. So yeah, severe weather is going to be the prominent thing here across, we're going to take a look at some very inclement weather here across the plains as we head on into your Wednesday and into your Thursday. Is that low pressure? This has been, the trend all winter long. Eject these Colorado lows out here into the plains. And, this is just no different into late Thursday into Friday. That severe weather kicks across the plains, and we do see a push here into the Ohio Valley. So, Cleveland, Cincinnati, maybe towards Pittsburgh as we get later on into Friday afternoon. We got a little vigorous look at here, though, across the southeast and into parts of the southern plains. These are some big gully washer thunderstorms. Some of these could be severe, but heavy rains are going to be a big thing. This disturbance, I hate to say it, is going to cause some problems here into Ohio and Pennsylvania in the form of inclement weather to start off your Saturday. And look at this. This looks like a big old bow echo here into parts of Iowa. And look at this. If you're in upstate New York, though, this, according to the European now, is sliding to the south. So this little piece of energy slides off the coast come late Saturday morning into afternoon. But there's why the temperatures are being held down in Texas. Look at this. This is going to be a major stormy time of it. The Gulf of Mexico just opens up. We may even get some moisture here from the Pacific as well. So this is just crazy. We're getting a lot of moisture just training in here. And look at it to Sunday. You know, this is pretty amazing. We're actually going to eke out the latter part of the weekend, with the exception for Ohio and Pennsylvania here. We're going to eke out a really nice wall-to-wall sunshiny weekend here. And look at this as we head into next week. This active pattern, this last frame here, just continues here across the south. So this, you know, the Gulf is open for moisture business, as I call it. Your total liquid equivalent precipitation forecast. Let's just take through the end of the week here. We'll get to the weekend, but look at this. This takes us through like really early Saturday morning. Look at this in eastern Texas, parts of Louisiana, the northern plains. That's with more stratiform rain. This here is with more gully wash or thunderstorms, and you might even get up to 3/4 to 1 inch as far north as Cleveland by later this week, Friday evening into Saturday evening. Now watch this as we progress into the weekend into next week. The weekend just looks terrible across Texas here. Look at this. This is some tremendous amount of moisture here. You're talking 4 to 8 inches of rain here. This is going to cause some major problems across the area. Take a look at that. But if you look across much of the Northeast, upstate New York, into much of New England, except northern New England, you're looking pretty dry for this time of year. Okay, for my regional viewers here, especially Ohio and parts of western Pennsylvania, this is the rain you'll be looking at later Friday into Saturday. This is what I wanted to show you pretty quick here. Look at the sharp cutoff to the north here. Yeah, Cleveland, 3/4 of an inch. Right around Pittsburgh as well, Harrisburg. Yeah, it's going to be a wet time to start off your weekend, but thankfully the weekend will end the mid to latter part. Very nice. All right, so to my Atlantic viewers here, the tropics, we're going to take a look at a feature. Watch this. Yeah, you got to watch these thunderstorm features here coming off the coast of Texas this time of year, but that's going to plow northeastward across land again. But it's towards, take a look at this. You know, there's the intertropical convergence zone out here. This is pretty interesting by the 14th. Look at this. This is a pretty sizable wave, but you look at how far south it is this time of year. It's literally going to be plowing into the coast of South America. It really doesn't have much of a chance, and there's so much wind shear this time of year. But look at this. We're going to look towards south and east of Florida. Look at this. We start to have a flare up here by about May 14th here, and as you put this into motion, this is kind of going to hang out here for a little while until it kind of fizzles out, and then there's going to be another piece of energy here that's crossing the Yucatan. We're going to watch this emerge here into parts of the Western Caribbean, and watch this as we go in time. This is going to take a jaunt here towards the northeast. You see off the coast of Cozumel and Cancun by this point on May 16th. And look at this. The surge of moisture continues towards the northeast towards May 17th. Watch this. If you're in Florida or the Gulf of Mexico, Cuba, even over here towards Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and even as far east as Puerto Rico. Keep an eye on this one. Jamaica as well. This may bring some gusty winds and some heavy rains between the 17th and the 18th. And look at that. It's being entrained into a front. But, you know, look at this. You know, this time of year we can get these kind of flare-ups. So it's going to be interesting as we get closer to June 1st here. All right, so as we get into the Western Pacific, things are going to get more interesting, I promise you, especially as we progress here. The models are hinting at something. But, you know, right now, as we head towards the 12th of May, we have these Western systems up here. No tropical system in their right mind is going to come up in this area this time of year. It'll just get sheared apart, and it's really hard to get development that far north and to keep it that far north. But look at the Philippines just basking in some sunshine until we get to the 14th. Look at this. This is actually with a frontal boundary pushing pretty far south for this time of year, so this is a little bit surprising. So yeah, you're not going to see anything develop, but this is just going to be some generalized rain. It will tap into some tropical moisture to the south here, so from Manila on northward here, you might encounter some problems as this tropical moisture gets entrained into this front. Now, I'm going to turn your attention over here across the intertropical convergence zone. This one's pretty far to the south, but look at this one over here. This is actually towards May 17th. Now, watch this as we continue to put this into motion. We're going to have some of these try to flare up as we go in time. look at how active the westerlies are from Japan, China, Vietnam over here. This is crazy for this time of year, but there's a lot of tropical moisture to work with, so the southern and central Philippines stay pretty dry, but look at the intertropical convergence zone towards the 21st of May. We're definitely going to have something come out of this. You know, all indications are kind of pointing towards some sort of development. You know, it is pretty far out, so it's hard to say exactly where it's going to happen, but you can start to see evidence of it here by this point. Now, this is pretty far north. You see this storm here in the westerlies, but there is definitely a comma shape developing out of this. And will it be some sort of tropical or subtropical? It's possible. Look at that. It really starts to get cranking, and it starts to look more like a typhoon by May 25th here. Look at this. So, yeah, this is something we got to keep an eye on. You know, the trends have kind of been pointing towards this, and look at this. By the 25th of May, I would start to watch out here if you're in the Philippines, because look at, you're still going to have a lot of tropical moisture over here too, but you're going to have to watch these tropical waves start to potentially become named storms by this point. At this point, though, with these westerly storms, it may end up recurving the storm. We're going to keep an eye on it here for you. And here we go. John sending in his photo this past Thursday. This was Coach Avery Gomez Avenue, Hall of Fame District in New York. Take a look at this. He's got some beautiful cumulus clouds there, blue sky. Looking pretty nice here across the area. Now, last week we did have a lot of cooler temperatures, you know, some scattered showers and thunder showers. But now things are actually getting better. We're on the warming trend here, and we'll see if we can keep that trend going. Nice capture there, John. And for your temperatures here, take a look at your highs here for your Wednesday. Take a look at this. Yeah, we got the heat building. We got 70s all the way up into central Canada here in eastern Canada. Look at that. That is pretty tremendous considering here in the Northeast we're still holding into the mid to upper 60s. As we head into Thursday, though, look at this. This is really temperatures on the rise here initially. Look at out west here. You got this big old trough. That's kicking all that unsettled weather. But look at for your Friday. Yeah. Heat is on here across the plains. That is going to be building to the northeast here. Look at this. We're getting temperatures into the upper 70s and even low 80s here into the big cities of the northeast. And look at this for Saturday. Look at this 90-degree line all the way up to Richmond, Virginia. Washington, D.C., you'll be stuck in the upper 70s here. But look at here. Florida's baking into the deep south. A little bit of inclement weather here in Texas, holding those temperatures down. But look at out west here. We start to heat things up into Sunday as well. You do start to see the evidence of some sort of trough around the edges here. And look at what's going on the backside of this big old low-pressure system here into the plains. And then look at as we get into Monday here. Yeah, the heat's going to start to build again. You start to see most of North America really starting to build into next Tuesday as well. And then look at into next Wednesday. Yeah, we do start to see a cooling trend there into the Northeast. You knew that was coming eventually, but, you know, 60s is still not too bad for this time of year. Extended outlook from hometown viewers, Binghamton to Scranton's Upper Susquehanna River Valley. Look at this Wednesday through Friday. You're going to wish you had those days off because look at, yeah, we start, this kind of ridiculous for May, 33 degrees, almost freezing, but that's going to be a fading memory as you soar into the 70s and 80s by Friday. Look at that 83 Saturday. I think we'll eke out a pretty good weekend. I think the rain will stay south of the New York-Pennsylvania border Friday night and Saturday. And then a little cool front comes through Sunday, 69 degrees, but still looking beautiful for this time of year. Thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. As always, I just want to make you aware of my new affiliate, Trilogy Maps. I use their maps every day. I just love them. They are high performance, high resolution, the layering system can't be beat, and I just wanted to say when you do go to their website, and I have the link down below, and you use my code MeteoMark, that gives you 20% off. That's the only way you can get 20% off. Use the code MeteoMark. It does open up me eligible for a commission based off that, but there's no additional money being made in that way. So I just wanted to disclose that to you. It's a product I truly believe in. If you love maps, making weather maps, or you're into maps with data on them, I mean, this is a great mapping system for you. It works wonderful. I've been trying it with Photoshop and it works wonderful. So don't forget to try out my Hurricane 2023 Outlook, link in the description down below. Also, it's a link ahead of you on the screen as well. This is an Outlook I came out with last week, so check it out if you haven't already. The entire Hurricane 2023 season, my take on it. Also, Facebook at MeteoMark, also at Weather Eastern and Hurricane Northeastern, and Twitter at Weather Eastern. Thanks for joining me.